My name is Kaylin Carlton. I'm an MSW student at East Carolina University. This video project is for Social Work 6101, a group substance use disorders course. I'll be explaining narcissistic personality disorder in relation to the DSM-5. I hope to help you have a better understanding of narcissistic personality disorder and its criteria so that you can easily identify NPD in social work settings. DSM-5 Narcissistic Personality Disorder Criteria. Narcissistic personality disorder, a persuasive pattern of grandiosity in fantasy or behavior, need for admiration and lack of empathy, beginning by early adulthood and present in a variety of contexts as indicated by 5 or more of the following. Has a grandiose sense of self-importance, for example, exaggerates achievements and talents, expects to be recognized as superior without commensurate achievements. Is preoccupied with fantasies of unlimited success, power, brilliance, beauty, or ideal love. Believes that he or she is special and unique and can only be understood by or should associate with other special or high-status people or institutions. Requires excessive admiration. Has a sense of entitlement, for example, unreasonable expectations of especially favorable treatment or automatic compliance with his or her expectations. Is interpersonally exploitive, for example, takes advantage of others to achieve his or her own ends. Lacks empathy, is unwilling to recognize or identify with the feelings and needs of others. Is often envious of others or believes that others are envious of him or her. Shows arrogant, haughty behaviors or attitudes. Narcissistic personality disorder is a cluster B personality disorder and is considered to be one of the least identified personality disorders. Prevalence estimates for NPD based on DSM-5 definitions ranges from 0% to 6.2% in community samples. NPD appears to be more widespread in males than females for unknown reasons. According to the DSM, of those diagnosed with NPD, 50 to 75% are male. Many highly successful individuals display personality traits that may be considered narcissistic. Only when these traits are inflexible, maladaptive, and persisting and cause impairment or distress do they constitute NPD. The following short clip shows an example of narcissistic personality disorder from Disney's Beauty and the Beast.
Belle's gonna get the surprise of her life, huh, Gaston? Yep, this is her lucky day.
I'd like to thank you all for coming to my wedding. First, I better go in there and propose to the girl.
Now, when Belle and I come out that door... Oh, I know! I strike up the band! Not yet!
Gaston, what a pleasant surprise.
Isn't it, though? I'm just full of surprises. You know, Belle, there's not a girl in town who wouldn't love to be in your shoes. This is the day... This is the day your dreams come true.
What do you know about my dreams, Gaston?
Plenty. Here, picture this. A rustic hunting lodge, my latest kill roasting on the fire, my little wife massaging my feet. Oh, the little ones play on the floor with the dogs. We'll have 6 or 7.
Dogs?
No, Belle. Strapping boys like me.
Imagine that.
Do you know who that little wife will be?
Let me think.
You, Belle.
Gaston, I'm speechless. I really don't know what to say.
Say you'll marry me.
I'm very sorry, Gaston, but I just don't deserve you.
So, how'd it go?
I'll have Belle for my wife. Make no mistake about that.
Touchy.
Comorbidity. Several comorbid disorders occur with MPD, with the most common being major depressive disorder. This is seen in about 45 to 50% of MPD patients. Bipolar disorder presents in 5 to 11% of MPD patients. On the other hand, the most prevalent comorbidity seen is that of substance abuse. Approximately 24 to 64.2% of MPD patients have substance abuse disorders. Therefore, it is imperative to be aware of and eliminate substance use disorders before diagnosing a patient with MPD. Social impact. Ironically, patients with MPD, also known as narcissists, are reportedly happier than others in society. Being highly materialistic, self-enhancing, entitled, and impulsive, they may not learn from their mistakes, and they have a tendency to get into even greater trouble, notably legal and disciplinary trouble. These maladaptive coping mechanisms can result in issues in the workplace or in school or even unemployment. Patients with MPD tend to be drawn to people of high societal class who think very highly of them. The constant desire for admiration may cause romantic relationships to be short-lived, as they constantly seek for something better, or when their lack of empathy becomes apparent to their partners. So patients with MPD may exhibit an unforgiving nature and showcase anger and aggression in such close relationships. This can also affect work relationships or any close group activities. It is important for MPD patients to receive close long-term monitoring, as they may be a potential risk for suicide, especially in patients who also have depression. While one can assume that given the low self-esteem and high impulsive nature, suicidal behavior should be directly linked with MPD. Treatment for narcissistic personality disorder. The treatments for MPD are forms of therapy. The core of treatment lies with individual psychotherapy, which consists mainly of psychoanalytic psychotherapy. In addition, other types of therapy may be utilized, such as family, group, couples therapy, plus cognitive behavioral therapy. Psychotherapy. With individual psychoanalytic psychotherapy, much debate exists between the two key schools of thoughts, Kernberg and Kohut, both offering conflicting methods regarding the therapist's role in treating MPD patients. Kernberg advocates a direct confrontation of the MPD patient during therapy with the goal of eliminating or weakening the patient's grandiosity. On the other hand, Kohut supports a more empathetic role, which encourages the patient's grandiosity, thus strengthening the patient's naturally poor self-image. In therapy, a common form of treatment is a combination of both. No actual medications are indicated for the treatment of MPD. Given that patients may have other comorbid psychiatric issues, these patients sometimes benefit from using medications such as antidepressants, antipsychotics, as well as mood stabilizers. Other forms of therapy. Some speculate that MPD patients may experience difficulty handling group sessions, since they lack the traits needed for group therapy, like patience, connectivity, and empathy. Research maintains that the use of long-term group therapy offers MPD patients the avenue to improve trust with others and other crucial relationship aspects in a safe and controlled environment. While treatment for MPD largely remains outpatient, an indication for inpatient stay should occur if the patient severely worsens or becomes a threat to their own safety as well as others. Even with inpatient care, it is best to opt for shorter hospital times, as extended stays have not been reported to transform the course of the illness. The use of hospitalization ought to be only used as a short-term method. Conclusion: NPD is a hard disorder to diagnose and find proper research for. There are different approaches to treat narcissism. It depends on the severity of which the person has narcissistic personality disorder. In reality, even though the person may be difficult to interact with, he or she is really hurting inside because they do not know how to have a proper relationship. The mental disorder has hindered their personality development and deprives them of their normal personality. References. Thanks for watching.